Greetings, ladies and gentlemen, and a warm welcome to the StarCraft 2 World Championship Series Challenger Open Cup #1 for Valencia as we get on down things, but this is the Challenger as that goes on. My name is Kyle Laris. Alongside me, I do have Mr. Todd. How are you doing, buddy, here in Poland?
I'm doing great. Actually, the qualifiers or Challenger overall just wrapped up for Jönköping, and we found out the last two from LATAM, that's Major and also known as Special nowadays, who renamed. If you weren't aware of that, you will be soon, because he's going to have to keep this nickname for the entire season. And Kelazur. So those are the last two to qualify for Jönköping, and now we move on into Valencia with no player having qualified yet here, and we're looking to qualify the first few.
That's correct. So our Open Cups, what we'll do is today, we will have Open Cup #1. Tomorrow, Open Cup #2. Then we have a break for 1 day. And then we have 2 days of playoffs for WCS Challenger for Europe, all importantly. Let's take a look at the bracket for today that we have. It will be single elimination all the way. And 4 players today will qualify onto the playoffs, where 8 from the ladder are already ready and waiting for their opponent.
Yeah, and I'll see the one here. Snoot is one of those guys that barely didn't make the cutoff point here for those 8 players from the ladder, and I'm sure he will be looking for redemption and try and make it there. Also didn't qualify, I believe, for Jönköping. It's been very different players from one ladder to another, like a ladder session where you know, we had to cut them off and figure out who was already going to be going to which WCS events. But yeah, a lot of big names here. TLO, Bly, very highly seeded as well. We've got Soccer in there. And Rotti going up against Rail in game #1.
I mean, we're actually trying to get that game, but I'm told that we're not getting many replies from those players just yet, Todd, so we might have
Neither
to
of them can take the pressure of facing one another in round 1.
The true pressure. Yeah, so
that'd be a cool match to see.
Yeah, it definitely would. It would be nice to see how Rotti's able to do.
Euthermal seed 2, by the way.
Yeah.
So that's it here for the brackets. Looking pretty good. Lots of strong players.
Yeah, lots of strong players. It is a full round of, well, almost a full round of 128. What we'll be doing is everything is best of 3s, and we will be covering at least 1 series from each of the rounds, and hopefully a few of the qualifying matches as well coming up, which again are best of 3s, which are in the semi-finals.
Yeah, it's going to be a few very good days of StarCraft where we don't just compete for money, for WCS points, and for a spot over in Valencia, but also for the rights to complain that your race is the weakest. So it's very important. Everybody pulls against their own race, because that's the way we do it in StarCraft.
Pull against your own race. Yeah, that's the thing. Don't forget as
Don't let me down, Protoss. Make sure you lose early.
Oh my God. Don't forget as well, not only through these Open Cups, then into the playoffs, there is $10,000 on the line across the board for the people that make the playoffs and then are able to earn the points as well as money there. The points is 1,000 WCS points across the board. So plenty up for grabs here. $1,600 for first place, which will be concluded on Saturday. So we got a few good days of StarCraft to come here for the European region.
Yeah. I'm trying to compare the players that we had make it through the ladder for Jönköping with now. For Jönköping, the top 8 of Grandmaster League was T-Drogo, Showtime, Hero Marine, Soul, Bly, Nurture, Cyril, and Snoot. And for this, Harstem, T-Drogo, Showtime, so 2 of these guys came back. Harstem, one of those new names. And then lots of Zergs. Elazer, Namshar, Nurture, Cyril, and Stefano.
Stefano.
What's up with that? Stefano, he's always returning somehow. He's like the Phoenix.
Yeah. Rising from the ashes. Or from the meltdown bar. I'm not quite sure which one. All right, so
it's a steamy place, yeah.
Huh? A steamy place. We're just waiting to see if we can actually get that series, but I think we might have to pick another one, Todd.
No.
You want to wait?
Yeah. No, I mean,
Absolutely. You'll have to message our admin then, and then see what we can get done.
I'm not going to message it. No admin. I'm going to message Rotty.
Rotty himself.
What are you doing?
It's very important that we get this series, apparently.
I think it's like a really fun match from round one. If I look at the entire bracket,
it's definitely the one in the round of 128 that stands out the most.
Yeah.
Out of all the names. Because what happens is...
I think it would be pretty tough for Rotty, to be honest.
Yeah. Rail was good.
He's been around forever, and like he's performed well in some tournaments.
It's Verdi, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so...
It is. Yes, it is.
He changed his name a few times as well. Now Rail or whatever. The thing is that in the round of 128, you get a lot of buys, because I think we had 111 players sign up. So you get a lot of the top players actually just getting a buy into the round of 64 and waiting for their opponent from the round of 128. So this one's not too bad as an option.
Okay, we might wait a little bit, see when Rail shows up. Roddy's here.
Roddy's here.
He's here and ready.
He's here and ready. He's going to fight. Puts his fists up. You know,
he's already put his armor on.
Yeah, yeah. The Rotty armor.
And it's a PvP as well, so like you know, you don't have to mind about your race looking too strong, you know.
Yeah.
Oh, do you?
We'll both throw. We'll both throw. Not easy in this game. All right.
I think it's going to be a good qualifier, for
yep.
sure. We've got a lot of big names. Like even amongst like the lower seeds, there are still a lot of very impressive names. A lot of grandmaster players. And pretty big numbers, actually, of attendance.
Yeah, 111 or so, I think.
Yeah. That's more than NA by quite a few.
That is more than NA. Yeah, almost double.
Oh, no, I said NA. I hate it when commentators say NA and EU. I don't know, I just find it like so bad.
Why? What else do you call NA?
North America.
Oh, you want to say
Or
North
Europe.
America or Europe. I think
you know, like in many years from now, I told you about that movie, right? Idiocracy.
Yes.
You know, like in that movie, many years from now, people just like, they grunt a little bit, they make noises, they slur all their words, and that's how they communicate. I'm worried we're headed there. With all those internet slangs as well. It's like OMG, LOL.
Instead of laughing, everyone just says, lol.
Correct.
That's it.
It's like the new language. Like aliens come to Earth, they learn English, and they're like, what? We don't understand.
This is just strange, yeah. He's laughing, but then he just said lol. It's the same thing. What is this?
Lol.
That's how it works. That's how it works. So let's refresh the bracket and see if anything's going on. There are a few round of 64 matches that have already begun due to like just 2 players in particular seeds getting buys into there. So like Revolver versus Nitix, for example. What else is there? Cruiser versus Rodzin.
I'm taking a look at the updated WCS World rankings. You know, like we only have 3 Europeans in the top 8 currently. So it's from Latin America.
Yes.
We've got Major, Kelazur, and Cham, which I find very impressive. Again, like I keep talking about this every time we're talking about WCS rankings. Like these guys perform super well in Austin, and with Cham and Special making top 8.
Yeah.
This time around, though, things have changed a little bit because in the LATAM qualifiers, Cham wasn't able to make it. He lost to Bayrada. And he tweeted that he was so focused on Zerg versus Terran because Kelazur and Special, I guess he wanted to beat them, that he didn't practice enough in CVZ. And Bayrada is pretty good. Yeah. He was at WCS Copa Intercontinental, met him, really nice guy. So I guess for this time, even though Cham can clearly go to Jönköping as well, it's going to be Kelazur and Special going for sure and looking to score more points.
Yeah.
These storylines, I know you love them, KLRs. They're already building it.
You mentioned as well that it is more difficult for those guys over in the Americas to actually travel to Jönköping. So their qualifier was especially important for them, or their challenger was especially important
like
for
I
them.
said, Cham, it's possible for him to go for Jönköping, but from Mexico, it's going to be a very expensive travel and all that. So not sure. Hopefully, we will see him there. I would love to see him play again. And he's in a very precarious position as well.
Nice.
You like my words?
Wait, why is he in a precarious
spot?
Oh,
so surely he will
okay.
be taken over, like if he doesn't score more points, especially because like it's by the smallest margin. He's on 800 points, and in next place is ISONU 730.
I compliment your English. I'm impressed.
Thank
Well
you.
done.
Thank
well
you.
done.
Years of training, casting right next to you.
Sitting
It's
right
finally
next to
paying
me.
off.
Oh God, I wouldn't take too much of my Kyle Arisisms.
That's a scary word right there.
That is a bad one. Are you in the game?
I just joined.
You did? Okay. Oh,
It's only me and Roddy.
It's only you.
Oh,
and
there
Ryan.
we go, Casters Tournament.
Let's go. Can you throw me an invite to the game? I'm going to.
We're still not friends.
No, I've sent you a friend request.
I'm tempted to deny because like we weren't yet, so I feel like it's your fault. Well, I can't accept.
I think that's because my list's full. 1 second.
You blocked me.
No.
Roddy left.
He did?
Yeah.
Wait, what?
Maybe wrong map.
Oh, maybe. All right, I'm going to remove this person. Sorry. Sorry, watched. Whoever you may be. All right, now add me.
Who did you delete?
Some random heroes person.
Wow. All right, we're in. A big matchup, guys. Actually, yeah. RotterdaM will be casting the North American
Yes, he will.
Challenger next week with me. And it didn't tilt immediately in my head. I was like, why is he playing if he's going to cast with me? But he's not going to be casting the Europe one. So
No.
he can very well play in it, qualify, then commentate the North American one to prepare for
His opponent.
Valencia.
For
Well,
his.
to be fair, like I don't think...
What if he did win? Out of curiosity. I mean, it's not likely. Right? It's not likely.
Yeah, I don't think it's
But-
like the chances are super high, but like Roddy's, he's pretty good, to be fair. Especially like if you're not super familiar with his style. I would have given him a much higher chance against Zerg, though. I think it's like the one matchup where when I watch him play, I'm like, he can actually beat a lot of top Zergs.
Yeah, yeah.
With his like Phoenix style and DTs and all that. Whereas against Tian and Protoss, he's gonna be harder, but you know, his MMR is like 5.6, something like that.
I mean, yeah, let's not beat around the bush. He's good, right?
Yeah.
Like, he's good.
Grandmaster, many seasons in a row, plays
Yeah.
every single day and streams quite a bit.
Yeah.
Rail, though, let's look at that MMR. Oh, I shouldn't have.
Oh.
6,100.
Uh-oh. Yeah.
Yeah,
Likewise.
he should be the
like,
favorite for this.
As much as RotterdaM, you know, is playing every day, multiple times Grandmaster, Rail, Verdi, whatever you want to call him,
Yeah.
has been good for a long time. I remember casting him way back in a lot of Intel Extreme Masters qualifiers and a lot of Go for SC2 Cups. He was playing everything online. So he's been at a few lands as well.
Oh, God,
performing.
they are doing this thing where they give me host again.
Oh, yeah, great. It's your turn to press the go-go.
Are we ready? Let's go.
It's time. RotterdaM going up against Rail. Best of 3 here. Round of 128 for Open Cup number 1.
He said hi to you.
Hi. Oh. I see. God damn it.
I couldn't let the game start without turn again.
No, I appreciate it, yeah.
Abyssal Reef here, gonna be our first map. Rotty known for his Stargate and Phoenixes. Rel most definitely should know that. If Rel's not a fan and doesn't watch Roddy regularly, then I'd be very disappointed in him. But guess what? If he doesn't, all the better chance for Roddy. So let's jump into game number 1 here.
All right, spawning up to the top left-hand corner in the blue, we do have Rail and Todd. Why don't you introduce
His opponent. Look at his decal. Zoom in.
Look at his decal.
Look at his face. This is the Roddy P, guys.
Is that Bieber?
Starting in the bottom instead of the map, playing as the red Protoss. It is RotterdaM.
I like how...
I don't think we need the ticker, by the way.
Oh no, we don't need the ticker. All good. It's going. So, indeed, RotterdaM here. I like how... I think he... This is the skin of the pylon, right? I'm pretty sure this is the pylon skin.
Did you know, James, that more than $2 million of prize pool is on the line for the 2017 World Championship Series?
I did know that. Thank you. Yes, I did. And we will have double gateway starting here for Rotty. Looks like double gateway on the other side for Rail as well. So let's see how he's going to approach this. As we will have a little bit of gas, just the gas management coming in for Rail on the other side.
Yeah.
3 and 1
So,
at the moment.
All right, I'm gonna have to cut you right there.
That's fine.
I'm gonna let you finish.
Yeah.
But Roddy has some of the best builds of all time. Roddy's builds in PvP is very often the same thing. He opens with 2 adepts, sends them across the map, doesn't shade them in the first time, shades them in a lot of the time the second time that he sends them forward, and goes for a very quick Stargate behind this. It's very hard. I don't think there are too many builds that counter it perfectly, and you need to know that you're playing against that as well. Like I said, I'm not sure how familiar Rail is going to be with RotterdaM style, but that quick Stargate, it can mean trouble. Especially like if you choose to play like super defensively and stuff. Like in this case, yeah, we see Rail opening with Stalkers, which doesn't surprise me. He's probably going to want to make like 4 units, then expand. Yeah, there's that Stargate.
That is fast.
See, that's somebody that watches Roddy stream every day.
You mean that's somebody who...
The best StarCraft stream.
You're like the best person to commentate RotterdaM's matches, because not only do you watch him, but also you end up playing against him sometimes.
Yeah, I lost to him. I lost to this build. That's why I know he's strong.
Yeah. Perfect.
Because he goes for Phoenixes behind this, and he manages them really well.
Yeah.
Like even if you go Stalkers like this and you play defensively, he's gonna fly around your probes, force you to not mine from your natural, pick off some probes, and then he goes into a robo and starts pumping out Immortals while he expands himself. So he weakens your economy, basically take control of the map very nicely. Now I want my theory of the first shades not going through to be right, but I'm not sure. Let's see, he peeks. See, if he
There's no way
actually, if he sees the Stalkers there, he might go for it.
They're pretty far away.
Yeah, he goes for it. Because the Stalkers were not there, so he forces one first overcharge. Not going to be able to force one more, but actually... Sick micro, okay.
Yeah.
So Rail saves everything. Maybe he shouldn't have shaved, I don't know.
Should have stuck with your original tactic, Todd.
I think actually he should have shaded and accepted that these guys were going to die and just target units with the 2 adepts. Because then he would have lost the adepts and maybe gotten 3 probes directly.
I guess he didn't know where the cybernetics core was, so I was hoping that he could loop around them back in the mineral line.
Yeah. But like even then.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's the first small mess up here from Roddy. And actually knowing him, I hope like he doesn't get too tilted because he can be very emotional. If he starts beating himself up after this, it's going to be very bad for him. And like we see that robo behind this. Very important to note, this is typical Roddy. No warp gate.
That's true. Yeah, no warp gate. What the?
He has played very long games without warp gates at times. I would still anticipate him to start it eventually, but especially he's got quite a bit of gas. But I'm guessing he's going to want to get some Immortals here very soon. He's staying actually very long at home with the Phoenixes. Oh my god.
Yeah.
If this was me, it'd be across the map killing probes.
I guess he just wants 4 and then he'll move out.
Don't be scared because you're playing Rail.
Yeah, he's already queued it up to go to the back of the mineral line at the natural. There is a pylon quite close, but I think it could technically, the Phoenix could still do damage to the upper probes, but there will be Stalkers. It's
so funny that Rail has got nothing, by the way. Like, he literally saw nothing. The first hallucinations headed across the map now, but even before that, like, he's going to realize that his Phoenix is clearly...
Oh, picks the sentry! Oh, gets the sentry. Nicely done, Roddy.
Yeah, that's really cool, but... I mean, Rail is on a double gateway Stalker production here, and he's already got a good Stalker count, so I don't think like this Phoenix harass will be negated very nicely.
Now, it's an uncharacteristic thing to see in PvP, but the hallucinated Phoenix went in and saw no warp gate.
Oh, the probe!
Oh, nice pickup.
Last second.
Is there anything that you can do as Rail, seeing no warp gate, or do you just have to keep playing your own game?
Well, I mean, first of all, there is no way you will ever anticipate somebody not going warp gate. But I think Rail doesn't have to overread this or anything. He might just throw down a couple gateways, go mass Stalkers, and then play aggressive. Because Roddy still hasn't started warp gate, I think he's just going to get enough Immortals to make sure he's decently safe against the Stalkers, and then might go straight into like Void Race, Carriers, and mass air on 3 bases.
Okay. Well, there's plenty of Stalkers for Rail in the main base, holding on strong there. Likewise at the natural with the Mothership Core there for Photon Overcharge.
I like the Observer on the right-hand side, by the way, by Rail. It's really nice. If you can spot the Phoenixes coming from that angle, you can be really ready, even with the Stalkers from the main, to blink and kill as many as you can. And now, Roddy knows that in both bases, Rail is ready to catch the, or like to do enough damage to the Phoenixes. So what does he do? He stands in the middle of those 2 bases, ready to pick off probes. And he also prevents the 3rd base from going up for the longest time. Charge now starts. Rail for a long time, whether it's in Wings of Liberty or in Heart of the Swarm, he was one of those guys that loved to do 2 bases, you know, like 3 Colossus, Thermal Lance, let's go. So in this case, the game's very different nowadays, but with how cheap Charge is, mineral and gas-wise, now starts it very early.
I mean, as long as there's not many force fields and a middle area battle, I feel that Charge would do great against Phoenix Immortal, no?
Yeah, well, the thing is, Roddy plays so tricky behind this, because if you look at his army, he's getting Immortals, but he's still getting Zealots, and he has 1 Sentry. So it's still very hard to play against that style of his. Like, you need to know... I think, like, what Rail's doing is right, but he needs to expand, and he might have needed to expand earlier. But in this case, Roddy might be going for an attack.
Does he have a Warp Prism?
This is super dangerous, like... No, he does not.
He doesn't need it.
If Rail gets caught with his army out on the map, and a lot of units get picked up by those Phoenixes, it's going to be really bad for Rail. All alike, though, if Rail can land the feedbacks and then morph Archons, it's going to be a disaster for Roddy, because those Phoenixes have a lot of energy as well. But those Immortals right now in a low army count like this are a huge threat. Rail's army is definitely strong, though. I think Roddy is looking to try and get a cancel and then pull back.
Yeah, it would work out.
Or the feedbacks.
Yeah, that'll do a lot of damage to those Phoenix if he's not careful.
Yeah, that's going to be a cancel.
Oh,
you morph Archons. Oh, that could be a big mistake.
Goes for the Immortal, picks that up straight away with the Phoenix. These Immortals need to be targeting down those Stalkers so they get the maximum amount of damage out, but he's still negating a lot of the damage coming out from the Immortals with the pickups. And the 2 Archons at the front are doing a lot to this.
Yeah.
Another Immortal, though.
Still a lot of pickup on these Stalkers there. Roddy macroing back his Immortals. He might be cleaning up here. There's so many Immortals left. This is why you can't fight against this army that early. The Phoenixes are just so dangerous. He should not have made those Archons, and Roddy might get a cancel onto that third base. And now all he has to do is pull back, and I think Rail will actually chase him here. He can't let this army escape. If he lets this army escape, he's going to be in so much trouble. The thing is, though, Roddy can trade against this.
He needs to pick up the Zealots, and he's going to do that as well. And tries to get them as quickly as possible. Immortal's going to focus down on the
Roddy's a god!
And yeah, he's doing really well, considering these will end up taking a lot of damage.
Oh, he was trying to recall, but too late.
Yeah. Try and get him out. Phoenix will leave.
Wow. And now he's on 3 bases. He starts a second Robo. Already has his second Stargate on the way. This is so sick. That fight was insane.
44 workers to 47. Rail is going to walk across the entire map and fight this out. If he had a lot of Zealots for Zealot Charge, that'd be fantastic for him. But he realizes an Immortal is walking back.
Yeah, if you could save that, that'd be great.
Pick it up.
Yeah, but there's still Stalkers.
Oh,
he escaped. He has overcharges. So it's very hard for Rail to go up that ramp. Roddy should not overextend, though. He needs to stand back, stay next to his pylons. He's got cannons on the way.
Roddy broke the rocks at the natural. Look at that.
Yeah.
What a god.
Well, he broke them a while back. I don't think it matters too much.
No.
I think Rail's looking to attack from there. Another pylon here would be nice. When I see only 1 pylon, he can scares me.
If you can get the sentry with the Guardian Shield, that would be great to actually negate some of the damage from being soaked up here.
There's still so much. Those Void Rays here cannot get there soon enough. Phoenixes are going to pick up some units, but these Archons are cleaning up, and Rail did not hesitate here. He fell behind. He felt like he needed to attack, and he may have been right.
Yeah.
There was supposed to be more pylons on that third base. If there's 2-3 pylons ready to overcharge, I think Roddy holds, but Rail for now will win game number 1. Not after a big scale, though.
Oh, indeed. You know what's great? I mean, watching how RotterdaM plays it, he just plays it a little bit different to everybody else. But it has so much potential power behind it.
Yeah.
It's really cool to watch.
I wonder if he played a little bit scared here, though, because those Phoenixes, he was saving them for a long time.
Yeah.
So obviously, like, we see everything. So I think it may have been a case of Roddy hoping that Rail was on a Stargate, which cannot be as fast as his, because he went for Stalkers, that's more gas.
Yeah.
And also, a lot of players, they go for Mothership Core before.
All right, well, we'll wait for game number 2 here between RotterdaM and Rail. But yeah, Rail. That could have got a whole lot crazier. Great little start for this tournament. Not only the series, to be honest.
Yeah.
It's really fun to actually cast some of RotterdaM.
That fight was the sickest on the third base.
I like you watching it again. Because of the delay. Perfect.
No, but it's funny because, like, for Rail, it's a very hard choice as well. Like, he sees this army, he's like, I need to save my third, because if he cancels it, then I may be in a lot of trouble. I think if Roddy had brought the Mothership Core directly, and then just recalled after the initial fight and left with a lot of the Immortals, he would have been in such a good position. Or even if he had the pylons on that third base.
Yeah.
Like, you need these overcharges to hold on. But Rail committed a lot to the counter-attack. And it was just before Roddy was going to have enough. Maybe if he had made warp gates and more gates, but I guess that's not the build.
Yeah. All right, well, What is our second map going to be? RotterdaM is in a game. Let's join. See if Sinestro is in this one. Yes, he is. Okay.
I think if Rel maybe had kept his 2 High Templars in High Templar form and made 1 Archon and waited for like 1 or 2 more rounds of Zealot Warping, like sure his Nexus takes damage, but if he can fight at the last second and punish this army, it's still worth it if he loses it.
I mean, I see. It's very...
Because this army, these units are irreplaceable.
Yeah.
Like these Immortals and Phoenixes, if they die, like...
I see almost no reason, though, to just fire off a ton of feedbacks before you morph them into Archons. Unless you're thinking that you're going to lack too much damage in the first fight.
Yeah, they still take a long time to morph, and also, usually if you can feedback, they will get picked up before they will be morphed, because Phoenixes are really fast. Yeah. They will be on top of you, just like that.
Isn't feedback range pretty good, though? It's not too bad.
Honestly, against, like I said, I think that against Phoenixes, to land the feedback and start an Archon after is very greedy. It's like very rarely will you be able to against a good Phoenix player that will jump on you at the right time.
Fair play.
And if you mess it up, like that's game.
Yeah.
That would have been game for sure.
All right, we're going to go to Ascension to Aya for game number 2. And Todd's the host.
Oh, God.
Let's go, Todd.
Well, I'm going to tell the ref right now.
He can just... I don't know why they just don't, like, start it.
Where is he? Oh, it's great. Let's just start.
Go, go. Please start. All right, so let's see if RotterdaM can come back in this best-of-3 series.
Rotty told me, Phil's banjo. I stayed too long. I should have gone back.
Oh. All right, let's get into game number 2. Jump in. As we do have spawning up to the top left-hand corner in the red, R808 RotterdaM himself.
Come on, zoom on in. Look at that beautiful mud.
Okay. Look at it.
That's the old photo where he has like a piercing as well.
Yeah, it is. Look how innocent he looks. No, right, you.
You versus the guy she told you not to worry about.
And out to the bottom right-hand corner, 1 game up in this best-of-3. It is Rail. Took some damage, but recovered well.
Rail is a pretty aggressive player. I think he's been for a very long time. So you don't need to push him too hard usually for him to finally go on the offensive. And that's what happened last game. Like he lost his 3rd base. Even though he restarted it, he was like, all right, he's lost some important Immortals. Let's just go for the counter-attack and kill him. But like I said, had there been a couple more pylons on the 3rd base, this could have been a different game. And also, I guess Roddy was so focused on the fight that maybe his macro slipped a little bit behind it. Started making Void Rays very late. Even started a 2nd Robo, which was a bit weird.
Rail, where are you going with this probe? Not exactly the most common of directions. Might just swing around and avoid a probe, but might be a proxy after that Cyberdead's course finished up. Yeah.
Especially with where he's sending it here, exactly.
Cheeky, cheeky.
Guys.
That was for Roddy, that one. Somebody watched
that was
his
for
back.
him, shout If he thinks that Roddy will go Stargate, and like I said, Roddy goes Stargate very often, what would he proxy? If he proxies a Stargate himself and an Oracle, then it's like he's gambling super hardcore.
Yeah.
With one guy that knows how to gamble pretty well.
Yeah.
If he proxies a Robo, then it's not supposed to be good against the Stargates, but that's the same thing. Like you kind of need to see it. And he goes for a proxy Stargate.
Okay.
Oh, and Roddy opens differently, actually.
Double
he goes double Stalker, so he might just play with Blink here this time around and expand.
I wonder if he...
Oh!
The probe's going up!
Oh!
He's going to see it!
Sense. Here's the thing, like I'm sure that Rotty has cast games of Rail before, and he knows that he's aggressive and that he can be cheesy as well, so I really don't fault him here for scouting like this.
I think that's one of probably... When you're a commentator who's also very good at the game and going up against these guys, as you say, you cast them God knows how many times. Yeah. So you probably have a good indication, not only playing them on ladder, but how they're going to end up playing. He even makes a pylon here just in case.
He's like, all right, well, that target is dead weight. Not going to be doing anything with this. Might as well cancel. 4th pylon in middle line as well by Roddy. He was joking about this when we cast last time, Challenger. That on the spaced out mineral lines like this, you need more pylons. And I think maybe it's because he misplaced his 1st pylon there, but I guess he wanted to have everything covered.
Yeah. You can have the pylons right next to the gas geysers, right? And then the three cover it really nicely.
But he might have messed it up and then realized it was like, oh, I need one more pylon.
Oh, he's making a pylon over the other side now.
Yeah, he's going to go for mass stalkers. Like he's getting a 5th and 6th stalker out of his gateway and realizing that his opponent proxy the Stargates. That means that Rel will not have enough out of his gates to fight. But Rel, look, he's so tricky. He starts a Dark Shrine.
Yeah.
Then again, the Dark Shrine takes a very long time to complete.
Gets probe, moves back out. So the initial shot, but we'll be able to kind of go okay against that. 4 Stalkers will be 2 Stalkers and 2 Adepts if they work here.
There will still be another overcharge, so ideally for Rotti, he will start a Robo very soon here. He proxies another gate. Actually, I think he might have needed to do that a little bit earlier, but he's going to have a ton of Stalkers.
Yeah.
After he forces that second overcharge, he's going to be able to get in. But that Dark Shrine is going to be closing in on completion.
Yep.
And, okay, actually, there is no pylon across the map. That's a big deal. That can buy a lot of time for Rotti if those DTs need to move across the map on foot. On one hand, I feel like Rotti's awareness on the game should allow him to realize there is DTs, but at the same time, there has been so many games on which he's lost to DTs. They just walk inside of his middle line, including against me, and he just leaves.
These Stalkers aren't.
Still no Robo.
Yeah, this is going to be...
He should be realizing something's up, I think, at this point. I'm so surprised he hasn't started a Robo. And then maybe, like, you can even wall off your ramp.
DT's in the mix.
Oh, he sees it at least. Okay.
Yeah.
So he can start walling off his ramp and get a Robo. Yeah, he's going to start a Robo at home right now. Rotti's biggest fear right now is there a pylon on the map and is there a DT headed for my base?
Yep.
But I think he might be able to realize that there isn't. I love this. He warps in 2 Adepts on the top right-hand side, and he's going to shade them into the main to try and kill more probes. There is no more Mothership Core, remember, so this could kill a lot. And he's going to wall up his ramp here to buy time.
And he has a sentry in case he needs a force field, so he can buy even more time during this.
All right, the Adepts. Shade. No.
Okay, so one's going to die, maybe. Oh, no. Okay, we'll get in, but then the Shade's going to follow it up.
A shade for a shade.
2 for 1, mate. Don't think you're going to get much done. Maybe a probe? Oh, no. Not even.
Never lucky.
Stalker's going to re-emerge at the front and put on some pressure, forcing another photon overcharge. Where is the Dark Templar? Did it die?
Oh, you just morphed an Archon.
Oh, okay.
Rel adjusted beautifully, by the way. He knew that Rotti might be ready, and he was like, I'm not even going to harass.
Yeah.
He stayed home with the 1 DT that he had, defended the whole time. Like a lot of players, they would have probably felt like they needed no matter what to do damage with the DTs on the economy. Not Rel. He stayed patient, and now he's on Blink Tech against Rotti, who's going for Robo Bay.
Ooh.
Look at this probes. Let us out.
Oh, wow. That was a lot of probes I wanted to get out. I didn't even realize.
Yeah, I saw mine,
one.
Man.
I saw one originally zapping it, but then I didn't see these 13, basically. So Robo Bay, what do you think? Are we going fast into Disruptors, or do we get some Warp Prism speed?
I'm not sure exactly. Like, it could be Colossus. Could be Disruptor as well. I hope it's not Gravitic Drive and a Disruptor drop, because Blink already completed.
Yeah.
Like, Rel transitioned beautifully. Actually, Colossus is one of the better scenarios. And I think that one of the best things that Rotti could do is drop a ton of gateways, like go up to maybe like 6, and do like a 2 or 3 Colossus attack. Even maybe without Thermal Lens, like you don't even necessarily need it.
Yeah. He's going to go for it anyway. Looking like the game's going to be drawn on a bit longer here, while Rail is trying to scout out what's up to the top. Doesn't see the pylon and gateway until just now, and sees even an Adept warping in. So sorry, Adept. Bit of a hard time for you. Immortal, 3 gateways, charge on the way.
Adept won't see much there. But Rotti should be starting to realize he's playing against charge and Archons. And he starts a second Robo. We might be seeing an old school Mass Colossus.
Ooh.
Now, the reason you don't really see Colossus anymore is that Disruptors armies, they counter this very heavily. But in this case, if you know that your opponent is going charge and you know, Archons, Immortals and all that, going for a Colossus heavy army can be good. You need to make sure your opponent doesn't get a ton of Disruptors, though, because then you'd be in a world of trouble. Yeah. And in this case, that's going to be the job of the Hallucinated Phoenix to scout for that.
I feel like not much is going to be able to deny this, really, until maybe an overcharge on the natural.
Oh, Rel. He just warped in sentries.
Oh, did he?
Look at his vision. He's still, like much like in the previous game, before the first hallucination, he hasn't seen anything of Roddy's base.
Oh, yeah.
So he has no clue right now. He's probably going to see the Colossus and be like, oh my god, like, I need some sort of transition. Obviously, like, this army that he's got is still very strong if you fight out on the map. Or if you fight in an open space. But other than that, if there is enough Colossus, eventually, like, this army of Roddy will be too strong for Rail to be able to deal with properly with the army that he has.
All right, so both players have scouted their third locations, and he did see that full Colossus army now. But you only saw one robo facility at the natural, not necessarily two, which might be an important factor. He's going to be presented with going up against 4 Colossus very soon.
I really think that if Roddy had gone for more gates, he could have done a big attack. He'd been in a good position, but he's going Twilight Council. I think he might want to go for more High Templars and add more Zealots. And then usually, like, I really think that if you play this style, you need to go for an attack, because then the opponent, if he gets Disruptors, you're in a world of trouble. Guess what Rail's getting? A Robo Bay.
Yeah, that'll be coming up quite soon.
A Prism in the main can be very dangerous as well. That's why Roddy's leaving the Mothership Core there, but then it leaves his army a little bit more exposed. He's not going to have any Time Warp or Overcharge on the third base to work with. And he's not walled off either. Like, against this army, you kind of need to wall off as much as possible.
Does he have Force Field? Does RotterdaM have Force Fields?
Yeah, well, I mean, there's Archons anyway.
Yeah,
he has one Sentry that has one Force Field.
Those Zealots need to get roasted up fast. Whoop. Thermal Lance is taking its toll on Rail's army. Needs to back out there for a moment. Realizing that many Colossus is...
He should be careful, Rail will turn around. He has a Prism set on the right-hand side.
Easy to warp in, gonna blink forwards there, trying to focus down some of these Colossi.
It's very hard to retreat with Colossus. Rotting is a Time Warp, I think.
Tries to throw down a Force Field to block him out, but the Archons are able to break it. Backing off, this one Colossus is gonna die off at the front. There's still 4 more doing damage, but there's no ground army to speak of in terms of Stalkers, etc., to be able to complement those Colossi.
Yeah, Overcharge is going down on some of these finals, but Rail just has so much. It looks like he might be able to push through.
Seems like a valiant effort here for RotterdaM. Another Colossus is going to come forwards, but everything's being focused down. Once his Immortals get on them, GG, Rail will take it 2-0.
Yeah, that was weird, because Roddy went for Twilight Council, but didn't really make anything of it. Okay. No Templar Archives. Like you need to add a mid-shield to this. You know, get Archons and get more Zealots. And then that's when you can keep the Colossus safe behind and win the fight. But in this case, that never happened. So he just took a fight that... It was weird. Rail kind of made him believe that Roddy could take it, and then Roddy overextended in the middle of the map.
Yeah. Well, I mean, overall, though, thank you very much, RotterdaM, for signing up, because that was a hell of an entertaining start to our round of 128. Moving on, we're going to be looking at the round of 64, hopefully, now. I think what we'll do is we'll go to a short break, and then we'll try and find you guys a match as quickly as possible here for WCS Challenger Europe. So join us in just a moment.
Let's end this thing once and